Historic Menger Hotel. We are 151 years old. The property opened for business on February the 1st of 1859. The Menger is a very, very important part of San Antonio history. We have serviced no less than 13 U.S. presidents, either before, during, or after they were in office. Anybody in the early years that was anybody, religious leaders, lawyers, rather famous people, actors, writers, anybody of any stature always stayed in the Menger Hotel. We've enjoyed a very, very, very good history. We're a very definite part of San Antonio, we really are. We do have our, shall we say, our little friends that checked into the hotel at one point and never have left, and of course these are our ghosts. We're very well known for it all over. There are no less than 43 apparitions and things connected with it that hauntings or return to the hotel, shall we say. I myself had several experiences, one of which was with an older lady. I would guess this lady was in her 80s, a rather large lady. She was sitting in the original lobby knitting. I saw her from the third floor. I was most impressed by the way she was dressed. She had on a dress that was made out of a Levi material, stretched all the way down to her ankles. She wore steel rim glasses, white-haired lady, a large woman. Her shoes were absolutely the most unfeminine things that I've ever seen. I looked at her and I was intrigued by it, so I came down the steps as quietly as I could. My voice, fortunately, carries very well. I was about from here to that planter. And I said, "Good evening, I'm with the hotel." I said, "Are you comfortable or may I get you something?" The lady continued to knit for what seemed to be an eternity, which is probably no more than 4 to 5 seconds. She looked up at me. The only description that I can give of her eyes is they were just a complete blank look, just a complete blank look. Nothing registered, nothing, no pain, no emotion, nothing at all. I looked at her, she looked at me, and then she said in a very clear and concise voice, she said, "I am fine." But this was said in such an authoritative manner that I interpreted to be, "Leave me alone." So I walked away. I walked as far as the passageway, the little under area right over there, and then all of a sudden it hit me what I'd seen. I went back. The woman, of course, was not there. Now, from the area that I started to walk away to that area there, I probably did that in about 3 seconds. A person in their 80s cannot move that fast. I mean, it's just, the lady disappeared. Had she gotten in the elevator, I would have heard the little ding of the elevator. Had she gone out the door, I'd have probably heard the door squeak. Sallie White. Miss White was a very attractive maid, a colored chambermaid that worked here in the 1870s. She had a union common law marriage with a fellow by the name of Henry Wheeler, who was apparently a man of good physical size, great physical size, and a very bad temper to match it, very, very jealous. I guess that he had figured, since she was such an attractive woman that worked as a maid, that perhaps men were making advances toward her, and maybe he figured she was cooperating. So he had threatened to kill her on a number of occasions. There had been a police investigation mounted before. The police had gone to their apartment, which was actually about 2 blocks from the hotel itself. That's what the servants' quarters were. And they lived there, and the police went down to investigate. They couldn't find a firearm, so they said, "He's just talking to hear himself talk. He's not going to do anything." Well, one particular day, he comes over to the hotel, and they had a tremendous fight over that same issue. She was so afraid to go home. The legend says that she spent the nights on the courthouse steps. The courthouse is about 8 blocks from this hotel. Waking up early in the morning, hoping that he had already gone on to work. She goes back home, and sure enough, he was there. And this time he had a gun. There was a terrible wrestling match, and she finally broke loose and ran in the direction of the fire station, which is right up the street here. He shot her 3 times, and one of those wounds was an abdominal wound. And people in the 1870s being shot in the abdomen did not have much of a chance of survival. However, she did not die immediately, so they held him in jail for a period, incarcerated for a period of 24 hours, and since she was still alive, they released him. Well, he got out of town. He left Dallas real quickly, or San Antonio, I should say, and he was never heard from again. She died 2 days later. Now, this was a very different situation. This woman had no one to speak for her. I guess that the hotel felt a need to intervene, and so the hotel arranged for her funeral and paid $32 to have her buried. She has been seen by countless people. That many people cannot be lying. They couldn't. She's been seen by countless people, and I guess that her spirit was just so moved by the fact that the hotel took that much of an interest that she continues to come back year after year. She's normally seen, or she's seen in her dress, which is very maid's uniform, very dark drab colors, bandana, carrying towels in this manner all over the hotel, and she doesn't speak to anybody. She just walks on by, so to speak. I've interviewed thousands, well not thousands, but hundreds of people on this one issue, and as I said before, that many people cannot be telling the same lie. It's just really impossible.
Have you ever seen her yourself?
I have not been fortunate enough to see her, no. But I have good friends of mine who have seen her, actually seen her, and it's all done like this. In an instant, you just see it and then it disappears.
Two teenage girls. They were dressed Victorian style, like with the ruffled collared blouse, long skirt. And when I first saw them, I was like, "Why are you on the out here on the floor at 3 a.m.?" They're like, "Oh, we're just bored." And when I got down to the first floor in the rotunda area, they had made their way to the third floor, and they were looking down, waving at me, and they're like, "Don't worry, we're friendly." And they just disappeared.
You just disappeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Did you look back and then did you turn away and then look?
No, they disappeared in front of my eyes. Yeah, they just vanished, like poof into like.
Any other things? I know you said you haven't been very long. Any other things you maybe experienced here at the?
Last night, there in the rotunda area here on the first floor, there was a wedding reception sign, and I know that I got here last night for work. It was right side up. When I went upstairs, came back down, it was upside down, and nobody had been through here but me.
What time did it switch?
That switched to right at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
So it's 2 a.m. and 3 a.m.
Yeah, the witching hour.
And your name
3
is?
a.m. the witching hour.
Brandon.
Brandon?
Yes.
And you're the security here at the Menger Hotel?
Yes.
The national security?
Yes.
Well, Brandon, thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
she's out of sight. I talked to her across the telephone. I've never seen money, but she's mine, all right. So take my kiss and I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die. A real live nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. Good boy, kid! I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart. You're a grand old rag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true under red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be